All right, everybody, welcome back to the 2007 Wild Card series here. We have two Game 5s this year in our Wild Card series. First, we have Steve's Washington Generals traveling to Fort Collins and Kyle's Roosters. And we have the Milwaukee Mobsters facing off against the San Diego Seals here. Derek Levitt's on the mound for Washington, it looks like, against Jimmy Adamczyk. And in the other game, we have Bobby Watson going off against Craig Robinette. So, we're not going to put too much of a delay here. So let's get things going and see who's advancing to the Divisional Championship Series. Best of luck to our 4 GMs. Here we go. Two on with one out for Milwaukee in the first. And they strike first. Zerwal Jetcha singles driving in Schmidt. So 1-0 Milwaukee after half an inning. Man on second after a Todd Graham double for the Mobsters, looking to add another run. Moves to third on a ground out. Pete Kellogg hits a solo homer for Fort Collins. It's giving them a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. First hit of the game for Fort Collins. Makes it count. Going to the top of the fourth now, 1-0 Fort Collins. Both games 1-0 here into the fourth. So pitching has led the way so far here in Game 5s. Looks like Washington did go with the opener strategy. 2 innings pitched with no hits and 2 strikeouts from Derek Levitt, and then Brent Myers came in. Gave up that 1 run on the home run. And he's still out there for the bottom of the fourth. Todd Vela with a leadoff single for the Seals. And he's up to second with a stolen base. Jim Green with the walk, so 1-2 on with one out for the Seals, threatening here. But a strikeout and a ground out gets Milwaukee out of the inning. Remains 1-0 going to the top of the fifth. Meanwhile, top of the fifth in the Washington Fort Collins game, and that is still a 1-0 game. John Herring walks, so Washington has a base runner, but quickly eliminated on a stolen base attempt, so 2 down in the fifth. Mike Goldrick doubles for Fort Collins with 2 outs. Trying to add some insurance. And Pete Kellogg doubles, so he drives in his second run of the game. A double and now a home run, or a home run and now a double, so 2-0 Fort Collins as we go to the top of the sixth. Meanwhile, still a 1-0 game into the top of the sixth. In San Diego, the Seals are trailing. George Newton hits a solo homer for the Washington Generals, cutting the lead in half, so now we have a 2-1 game. Zachary Fast with the walk, and we know he's a speedster. Fred Cox grounds out and Fast up to second. But the Generals can't get the run across. 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Meanwhile, Bill Bryce doubles for the Seals with 1 out. 2-1 with 1 out for Fort Collins, threatening. Base is loaded now. And a triple for Rich Mackin breaks this game wide open for the Roosters. Lacey Torres and Cuevas score. It's now 5-1. Man on third, 1 out. And a Billy Torgerson double drives in another 6-1. Meanwhile, in the Milwaukee-San Diego game, 1-0 into the bottom of the seventh now. The Seals' offense needs to wake up if they want to stay alive and advance. Meanwhile, Pete Kellogg singles. He is now a triple shy of the cycle, and he's driven in a run with all 3 of his hits. Pretty impressive Game 5 for Pete Kellogg. And Corey Henderson ties the game for the Seals, 1-1 with a solo homer in the seventh. We go to the top of the eighth now. Milwaukee won, San Diego won. So this one's going to come down to the wire, it looks like. Adam Schmidt leaving the game with an injury for Milwaukee. He was hit by the pitch. Craig Robinette still in there in the eighth inning. Corey Goodman singles first and third now, so Milwaukee threatening to take the lead back here. But a double play ends the inning by Mike Hattie, so the Seals get out of the inning. Craig Robinette forces the double play. And on to the bottom of the eighth we go. Meanwhile, things are looking grim for the Washington Generals down to their final 3 outs here as Fort Collins is batting in the bottom of the eighth. Looks like Javier James in the game pitching for Washington. He's pitched pretty well. He's given up 1 run, but came in relief this game. Pretty interesting. One down in the ninth for Milwaukee. 2 down now. And 1-2 2, 3 they go. So on to the bottom of the ninth. Seals with a chance to end this thing in regulation. Jim Green with a lead-off walk in the ninth. Meanwhile, one down in the Generals game. Second and third, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth now. And bases loaded, nobody out. For the Seals, this could be it. Let's see if Milwaukee can get out of this jam. One down, Corey Henderson flies out. And that's it. Game over. The Seals win it. Glenn Marks singles in Jim Green. And the Seals advance to the Divisional Championship Series with a 2-1 win over Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Fort Collins closes the door on the Generals season. 7-1. They win Game 5. So Fort Collins and Kyle will be advancing to the next round. Alex and the San Diego Seals will be advancing as well. Great season till Milwaukee and Washington here on their first trip to the playoffs, but it ends abruptly here in the Wild Card Series. And we will have the Divisional Series tomorrow night. Let's take a look at these matchups real quick and see who the series MVPs were. For the Montreal Machine, Ruben Cruz winning the MVP. And let's see, where's Cruz here? Oh, he's over here. Ruben Cruz went 5 for 15, a homer and 2 RBIs, so he had a great series. Meanwhile, in the Fort Collins series, Jamie Lindahl getting the MVP. No surprise there. He had some big hits. 8 for 18 of the homer and 3 RBIs in the series. For Huron, it was Steve Cole, and that's also not surprising. He had a 6 for 18 series, a homer, 4 RBIs, but he also had, a 5 for 5 game and a game-winning hit in one of those games. And then the San Diego Seals, Clark Heine winning the MVP. 6 for 18, a homer, and 4 RBIs on the series. So congratulations to our GMs. As we look at these standings here, let's see who's going to face who. I probably have to fix the matchups in game. I'm sure they're incorrect. But the best record in the Ice Conference, Las Vegas, is going to host, let's see here, is going to host Fort Collins. So it's going to be a divisional matchup there. And then Somerville is going to host the Montreal Machine. So 2 divisional matchups here for the Divisional Championship Series in the Ice Conference. On the Fire Conference side, Kingston is going to be host to Huron. So a nice divisional matchup there. And we have a Spokane and San Diego matchup. So 4 divisional matchups here as we go into the Divisional Championship Series. Should be fun and exciting. These teams all know each other very, very well. So congratulations again to our winners tonight, and congratulations to our losers for having a great season and making it this far. But this is where it ends, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow night for the Divisional Championship Series.